What sets your short film apart from dozens of others published every single year? Or in other words, what is the USP, unique selling proposition of your short film? This is something I'm teaching animators and animation studios in Animation for Social Media program. It's an online program that teaches you how should you launch your animated IP online, or if you already have one like short film or demo reel or your studio's portfolio, how should you actually promote it on social media? So it's an online program where you get pre-recorded materials where I condense everything about how I promoted my own short film and what I learned about being an artist on social media and strategies how to go viral and expand your reach so your short format videos, animated content or not, have bigger success and reach wider audience. So it's an online program for live Zoom calls, pre-recorded materials. Price is 750 euros. Second batch starts in January, and you can check more info below. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video. So one of the animators asked me a question on our latest Zoom call. How should I promote a short film that I already made in the past? And this is where I feel we as animators have an unfair advantage over the other content creators. And that is because we have a huge stash of animation shots, especially if you've been like me in the industry for 10 years. We have so many content materials that we could literally go a year posting every day without that content stash disappearing. Why is this an unfair advantage? Because unlike other content creators, we don't have to do a lot of editing or montage, storytelling, or showing our face. So we can reduce a lot of the work and production effort on that side because a lot of that stuff is already made for us. We now just have to package it in social media language so people relate to it, share it, and view it, of course. So he asked me, how can I repurpose my old short film? And we started looking through his short film. And first thing I do is look, what are some of the aspects or parts of that film that have the most curiosity for the viewer, that have the most tension, or that have the most suspense and reveal. So you kind of have to train your eyes to see content in those three S's, I call them: stakes, suspense, and surprise, and see how would that look in a vertical format and only cut those parts. Next thing I look for is what kind of captions can we put on it so the viewer actually find your content entertaining. So first they stop and then they watch till the end and finally they share it with someone else. So what kind of captions can we design it so it's actually relatable and shareable for someone not only in animation industry but also outside from animation industry? And this is where your USP comes, or your unique selling proposition. What is it unique about your short film that other creators or other animators don't have? I'll give you some examples. So we have Corey Williams. He is an animator who created this super successful YouTube IP, Silly Crocodile. And his USP is that he's doing it all by himself alone from his bedroom. And he's not animating it, but he actually built this control system where he's manipulating this crocodile character. Then we have a guy who made Flow movie, who got an Oscar. He also did it all by himself in Blender. Then we have Jeff Wiseman. Her USP or her angle is that she is a 22-year-old who is doing high-paying client work from, again, her bedroom, and her angle is her age. How is she so amazing and yet so young? Then we have Studio Flimpo, three guys who are doing their animated short film from their bedroom, again, in New York City, the most expensive city on earth, but they're still managing and doing it. So as you can see, every creator, every animator has something unique about them that sets them apart from a sea of other content made. So when you're thinking about what is your USP, you can ask questions like, what kind of unique problem did you solve on that show? Was it something related to the tools you use, or maybe budget you didn't have, or maybe you had some challenges with the team, or maybe your backstory is somehow interesting, like for example Aspen and a lot of these like Bookish Animator and Jackie Drushko, all of theirs USPs that they are these amazing artists in the industry, but they couldn't find a job anymore in the industry. So they decided to create something of their own. And that sets them apart because they are not only talented as artists, but they're actually brave and courageous to start doing something on their own and create their own luck on social media. It's very hard to do that on your own. So kudos to them. Me personally, I always like to have support whenever I'm going. I don't like to go alone, and I like to go and walk with people who walk those paths before me and who can guide me so I don't have to go everywhere blind. And which is why I created animation for social media, because I know how hard it is to walk alone in unknown waters and how beneficial is for you both for your mental state and for the strategies which should you choose to have someone who has walked in your shoes and who is two steps ahead of you and who knows how to tell you, hey, watch, there is a hole there, you're going to fall into it, turn left or turn right. So you can see how you can find your USP just based on your life, based on your backstory, but it's very hard to see that when you're in it. That's why it's very good to have someone who is watching it outside of it, who can recognize what is something unique about you and your project, that we can spin the whole content in that direction, in that angle. So every caption and every story you tell with every new video has that broader picture involved into it. So you can slowly start to build an audience who will start to recognize your story and recognize you. So hope this gives you enough of inspiration to start thinking what is your unique angle and a problem you can solve for the viewer who is watching, and problem in terms of what kind of entertainment value can I offer them for people who gave me my time and attention to consume my content. Why is today the right time to sign for animation for social media? Because there are 20 hours of recorded lessons in there, combined with the recordings and feedbacks I gave to animators, animation studios who came to the first cohort. So when you join in January in our second cohort, you will be getting everything they got, plus, of course, pre-recorded lessons. So it's a lot, especially for someone who is just starting out, who is just entering into the social media world. I remember how much of a shock and how much of a mindset shift that was for me when I first got into it, and how much I needed time for everything really to settle and sink in. And that's why it's much better to consume that in peace, in your own time, in your own schedule, instead of you joining in January and binge watching everything in 3 days and then panicking why you're not creating anything because you are overwhelmed with informations. That's why it's much better to join now, start consuming the content on your own pace and start applying it slowly. So by the time our first call comes in January, you actually have something to show that I can react to, instead of you just coming and me coaching you to your ideas. It's much better to coach you on your actions rather than just ideas and thoughts. So that is kind of it. We start in January. Price is 750 euros. You can apply with the link below. And if you have any questions, you can write to me here on my Instagram. I will reply, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.